Chapter 4. The Keeper of the Keys. Boom! The knock comes again. Uncle Vernon runs into the room. "Who's there?" he shouts. He is holding a rifle in his hands. Now everyone understands what he was carrying in the bag the day before. "Who is it? I warn you, I have a gun." There is a pause. Smash! The door is hit so hard that it breaks and comes flying into the room. There is a man in the doorway, a giant man. His face is almost completely covered with long, messy hair and a big black beard. But you can see his eyes, like points of light under his hair. The giant man comes through the doorway and into the room. His head almost touches the ceiling. "Could you make us a cup of tea, please? It has been very difficult to find you," says the giant. "And here's Harry. The last time I saw you, you was only a baby. You look a lot like your dad, but you have your mother's eyes." "I demand that you leave right now," yells Uncle Vernon. "You are in this house illegally." "Ah, shut up, Dursley, you big fool," says the giant. He reaches over and takes the gun out of Uncle Vernon's hands. He bends the barrel of the gun into a knot as if the gun were made of rubber. He throws the gun into a corner of the room. Uncle Vernon makes a sound like someone's stepping on a mouse. "Well, Harry," continues the giant, "happy birthday to you. 11 years old. Congratulations." Harry looks at the giant in surprise. "Who are you?" asks Harry. "Oh, I'm sorry, Harry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Rubeus Hagrid, keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts. But you can call me Hagrid. Everybody does. I'm sure you know all about Hogwarts, of course."
No,"
answers Harry. "Excuse me," says Hagrid, looking shocked. "You don't know about Hogwarts?" Hagrid looks angrily at the Dursleys, who try to hide in a corner. "I knew you weren't receiving all the letters we sent you, but I never thought you didn't know about Hogwarts, for crying out loud. Didn't you ever wonder where your parents learned all of it?"
"All of what?"
asks Harry, very confused now. "All of what?" Hagrid yells. "You didn't tell this boy anything about Hogwarts?" he asks the Dursleys in a voice that sounds like a storm. Hagrid looks back at Harry and asks, "You don't know anything about our world? I mean, your world, Harry? My world? Your parents' world?"
"What world?"
asks Harry. Hagrid looks like he is about to explode. "Dursley!" he yells. Uncle Vernon is shaking with terror. "But Harry," says Hagrid, "you must know about your mom and dad. I mean, they're famous. You're famous too."
"They were famous? Really? My mom and dad?"
says Harry. "You don't know," says Hagrid sadly. "You don't know who you are, do you, Harry? You don't know what you are?" "Stop!" yells Uncle Vernon, who finds some courage to speak. "I forbid you to tell him anything." "Oh, go sit on some nails, Dursley, you great fat pot of pudding," answers Hagrid. "Harry, you're a wizard."
"I'm a what?"
gasps Harry. "A wizard, of course," says Hagrid. "One of the best, at least when you learn a thing or two. With a mum and dad like yours, what else would you be? I think it's time you read your letter." Hagrid reaches into his pocket and pulls out a yellow envelope with emerald green ink written on it. The address reads, Mr. H. Potter, The Floor, House on the Rock, The Sea. Harry takes out the letter and begins to read. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Headmaster Albus Dumbledore. Dear Mr. Potter, we are happy to inform you that you have been accepted at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. In this envelope there is a list of all the necessary books and equipment you will need for your studies. The term begins on September 1st. We expect your answer by owl no later than July 31st. Yours sincerely, Minerva McGonagall, Deputy Headmistress. Harry has so many questions that he doesn't know which question to ask first. Then Hagrid asks, "Well, Harry, are you ready to go? Hogwarts awaits you." Before Harry can answer, Uncle Vernon says, "He's not going." "I'd like to see you try to stop him, you great fat muggle," growls Hagrid.
"What's a muggle?"
asks Harry, very interested. "A muggle," says Hagrid, "it's what we call non-magic people like your uncle here. And it's bad luck you grew up in a family of the worst kind of muggle. We made a promise when we accepted Harry that we would never allow him to be a wizard. It's all nonsense anyway."
"You knew?" asks Harry. "You knew I'm a wizard?"
"Knew?" yells Aunt Petunia. "Knew? Of course we knew, especially since my horrible sister was what she was. She got a letter just like you, and then she disappeared and went to that school and came home every vacation with her pockets full of magic nonsense. She turned our teacups into rats. She was a freak. But my mother and father always loved her best. Lily this and Lily that. They were proud there was a witch in the family." She pauses to take a breath and then continues in an angry voice. "Then she met that Potter boy at school, and they got married and had you. And I knew you were going to be just the same. Just as strange, just as abnormal. And then she went and got killed, and we got stuck with you."
"She was killed?"
yells Harry.
"You told me she died in a car crash."
"Car crash!" Hagrid screams at the Dursleys. "How could a car crash kill Lily and James Potter? That's ridiculous. I can't believe Harry Potter does not know his own story, even when every kid in our world knows his name." Hagrid looks sad. "I had no idea. Dumbledore said it might be difficult to find you, but I didn't know it was this bad. But Harry, I don't know if I'm the right person to tell you your story. But someone has to tell you. You can't go to Hogwarts without knowing the truth about your past. He looks at the Dursleys with an angry expression on his face. Well, I'll try to tell you as best as I can. I don't know everything myself. It's a big mystery, some parts of the story. It begins with a person called...
Who? Asks Harry.
I don't really like saying his name. No one in our world likes saying his name, answers Hagrid.
Why not?
Great goblins, Harry. People are still scared of him. Oh, this is difficult. Well, there was this wizard who turned bad as you could be. Worse than worse. His name was...
Hagrid cannot finish. Finally, he says slowly in a low voice,
his name was Voldemort. I can't say it again, Harry. Anyway, this wizard, about 20 years ago, turned bad and started looking for followers. He was becoming more and more powerful. They were dark days, Harry. You didn't know who to trust. Bad things started to happen to good wizards and witches. He started taking control of everything. But there were some people who tried to stop him. They tried to go against him, and he killed them all. He killed them in terrible ways. One of the only safe places for us was Hogwarts. I think Dumbledore was the only one you-know-who was afraid of. He didn't try to attack the school, at least at first.
Harry is filled with wonder as he listens to the story. Hagrid continues.
Now, your mom and dad were the best witch and wizard you could know. They were head boy and head girl at Hogwarts in their day. But you-know-who must have been afraid of them, because about 10 years ago, he discovered where they were, and you were with them, Harry. You were just a baby of 1, you were. He found your mum and dad on Halloween. He came to your house and...
Hagrid suddenly takes out a large handkerchief and blows his nose like a giant horn.
Oh, sorry, he says, but it's a sad story, it is. Your mum and dad were the nicest people you could meet. Anyway, you know who killed them, and then he tried to kill you. And this is the biggest mystery of all. He couldn't kill you. Did you ever wonder how you got that mark on your forehead? That was no ordinary cut. That's the mark of a powerful curse on you. It destroyed your mother and father, and your house, but you survived. That's why you're famous, Harry.
While Harry listens to the story, he begins to remember images in his mind, green flashes of light, and, for the first time, a laugh. A high, cold, cruel laugh.
I found you in the house, Harry, under some debris, continues Hagrid. Dumbledore told me to find you and bring you to these here muggles.
Hagrid looks at the Dursleys with disgust on his face. At that moment, Uncle Vernon begins speaking angrily.
"Now, you listen to me, boy. We took you into our home. We accepted you, even though there was something strange and different about you. And your parents, they were freaks. No good wizards and witches, and they got what they deserved, and—"
Before Uncle Vernon can continue, Hagrid jumps up from the sofa where he is sitting. He takes an old pink umbrella from his coat and points it at Uncle Vernon like a sword and says,
"I'm warning you, Dursley. One more word and I'll—"
Uncle Vernon loses all his courage and he becomes silent.
"That's better," says Hagrid.
"But what happened to you know who?" asks Harry.
"Good question, Harry. He disappeared. He vanished. That's the biggest mystery of all. No one knows where he is. He was so powerful, and now he's just gone. Some say he died. That's nonsense if you ask me. Some say he's still out there, waiting. I don't believe it. But the ones who went to his side, the dark side, they all came back. So he must be gone for good. But he lost his powers, I think. He's too weak to continue fighting. Something about you took away all his strength, Harry. Something happened that night with you, with him. Nobody knows what happened, and that's the mystery. But he's gone."
But Harry is confused now. He does not believe that he is a wizard, and certainly not a famous wizard, after all the abuse he receives from the Dursleys. "Hagrid," says Harry, "I think you have made a mistake. I don't think I can be a wizard."
Hagrid laughs. "Oh, not a wizard, eh? You never made strange things happen when you were scared or angry?"
Harry thinks about this. All the things that have made the Dursleys angry with him have happened when he was angry or upset, especially at the zoo a few days ago. He made the glass disappear, and he let the boa constrictor free, right? Harry looks back at Hagrid and smiles. Hagrid smiles back at him.
"See,"
says Hagrid.
"Harry, you may doubt yourself now, but just wait until you go to Hogwarts. You'll see."
But Uncle Vernon is not going to let Harry go without a fight.
"I told you he is not going. He's going to a normal school, and he will thank us for it. I have read all those letters you sent him. Nonsense. If he wants to go to Hogwarts, a muggle like you can't stop him. He's Lily and James Potter's son. He'll go to Hogwarts, and he'll be with young people like him, people who will respect him for who he is. And he'll be taught by the greatest headmaster there is, Albus Dumbledore. I will not pay for some crazy old man to teach him silly magic tricks," yells Uncle Vernon. But Uncle Vernon has gone too far this time. Hagrid picks up his umbrella. "Never," he yells, "insult Albus Dumbledore in front of me." He moves his umbrella towards Dudley, and there is a bright flash of violet light and the sound of a firecracker. Dudley screams and puts his hand on his fat bottom. He begins jumping up and down in pain. There is a hole in his pajama pants with a little pink tail sticking out. Uncle Vernon yells in terror and takes Aunt Petunia and Dudley into the other room and slams the door. "I don't think my spell worked," says Hagrid, confused. "I wanted to turn him into a pig." "Oh well, he is fat enough already." He looks at Harry. I would appreciate it if you didn't say anything about this to anyone at Hogwarts, Harry. I'm not supposed to, use magic."
"Why can't you use magic, Hagrid?" asks Harry.
I was at Hogwarts myself, but I was expelled. But Dumbledore let me stay and be the gamekeeper. Dumbledore is a great man."
"Why were you expelled?"
"Oh, Harry, it's getting late. Take my coat and lie down here by the fire and get some sleep. We have lots to do tomorrow," says Hagrid. "Hogwarts awaits you, Harry."
Chapter 5. Diagon Alley. Harry wakes up early the next morning. He tells himself that everything is just a dream. There is no giant named Hagrid. There is no school for wizards. "I am still in my room under the stairs," he thinks. But it is such a good dream that he keeps his eyes closed. But he finally sits up and opens his eyes. To his surprise, he is not in his little room under the stairs. He is in the old, broken-down house on the rock in the middle of the ocean. And there, on a sofa in front of him, is a sleeping giant. It is Hagrid. Harry cannot believe it. He is so happy, he feels like he will explode. Hagrid opens his eyes, yawns with a huge open mouth, and stretches.
"Good morning, Harry. I hope you slept well,"
says Hagrid. He looks up at the sun coming through the window and says,
"It's time to go, Harry. We've lots to do today. We have to get to London to buy all your things for school."
Harry suddenly feels sad again. "Hagrid," he says, "I don't have any money to pay for anything. You heard Uncle Vernon. He won't pay for the school."
"Don't worry, Harry," says Hagrid as he stands up. "Your parents left you something at Gringotts. It's a bank for wizards."
"Wizards have banks?"
"Just the one. Gringotts. It's operated by goblins."
"Goblins?" Harry asks. He can't believe his own ears.
"That's right. It's the safest place in the world to keep your important things. I have to visit Gringotts anyway, for Dumbledore," Hagrid explains. "Do you have all your things? Good. Let's go then."
Outside on the rock, the sky is clear. The storm is gone. But the little boat is there waiting for them.
"Harry," says Hagrid, "I'm not supposed to use magic outside of Hogwarts, but We can go a lot faster in the boat with some magic."
"I won't say anything, Hagrid," says Harry. He is excited to see some more magic. Hagrid takes out his pink umbrella and taps the side of the boat twice. The boat speeds away back to land. They leave the boat and finally arrive at the train station in the little town. Luckily, there is a train leaving in 5 minutes for London. On the train, Hagrid asks,
"Harry, do you still have your letter?"
Harry takes the letter out of his pocket and shows it to Hagrid.
"Good. It has a list of everything we need to buy for you."
Harry looks at the paper. There is a long list of things he needs to buy, including things for his uniform. 3 sets of plain black robes, a pointed hat, some gloves made of dragon skin, and a winter cloak. Then there is a list of books about spells and the history of magic, a beginner's guide to transfiguration, a book on herbs and fungi, a book on potions, one about beasts and where to find them. Then there is a book on the dark forces. The list also includes a wand, a cauldron, a telescope, and a set of scales and a set of glass cups. Harry reads out loud from the paper. "Students may also bring an owl or a cat or a toad, but no broomstick. Can we buy all this in London, Hagrid?"
"If you know where to go,"
answers Hagrid. Soon they arrive at the London train station. They walk for some time down the narrow streets until they arrive at a small, dirty-looking bar.
"This is it,"
says Hagrid.
"The Leaky Cauldron. It's a famous place."
Harry and Hagrid enter. It is dark and dirty. There are a few people sitting at the bar and sitting at tables, and they all stop and stare when they see Harry. "Good Lord," says the bartender, looking closely at Harry. Can it be? Well, I cannot believe it. It is! Harry Potter! What an honor!" The bartender, who is a little old bald man, comes quickly towards Harry and shakes his hand. There are tears in his eyes. "Welcome back, Mr. Potter. Welcome back." Everyone is looking at Harry. Then they all get up and come say hello. A young man with a very pale face comes towards Harry.
"Professor Quirrell," says Hagrid. "Harry, Professor Quirrell will be one of your teachers at Hogwarts."
"Mr. Potter," stammers Professor Quirrell, "I am so happy to finally meet you." "What kind of magic do you teach, Professor Quirrell?" asks Harry. "Defense against the dark arts," he answers. He seems scared to even talk about it. "Of course, you will not need it, right, Potter?"
All right, everyone. We must go," says Hagrid. "We still have lots to do. Come on, Harry."
As they leave, Hagrid looks at Harry and says,
"See, Harry, I told you you're famous."
They soon arrive at a small courtyard. There is nothing there but a stone wall.
"Now, where's my umbrella?"
Hagrid asks himself.
"Oh, here we go. 3 stones up, 2 stones across."
He taps the wall with his umbrella, and suddenly The stones begin to move and shift. In front of Harry, a large archway appears out of nowhere. There is an old stone street that twists this way and that, then disappears into the distance.
"Welcome to Diagon Alley,"
says Hagrid. Harry is filled with amazement. They walk through the arch, and then Harry looks behind him. The opening they have just walked through begins to close. Almost instantly, the hole disappears, and there is only the solid stone wall. The sun is shining as they walk down the street. Harry cannot believe his eyes. There are shops and stores of all different kinds, selling every kind of magic item imaginable. There is even a store that sells several kinds of owls. There are broomstick shops and cauldron vendors, robe makers and potion sellers.
"Here we are, Harry. Gringotts,"
says Hagrid. They are standing in front of a large white building. Next to the large doors, wearing a red and gold uniform is...
"Yeah, that's a goblin, Harry,"
says Hagrid. The goblin is much shorter than Harry. He has an intelligent, dark face with a pointed beard and long fingers and feet. He bows as they walk inside the building. They are in a vast hall made of marble. There are about 100 more goblins in the room. They are sitting on high chairs behind a long counter. They are writing in books, weighing coins, and examining precious stones using special eyeglasses. The hall is full of doors, too many to count. The goblins are taking people in and out of the many doors.
"Good morning,"
says Hagrid when they approach the counter.
"We've come to take out some money from Mr. Harry Potter's safe."
"Do you have his key, sir?" asks one of the goblins.
"It's here somewhere,"
says Hagrid as he searches his many pockets in his huge coat.
"I found it,"
Hagrid says. He holds up a tiny golden key. "That looks like the correct key," says the goblin.
"And I have a letter from Professor Dumbledore, too,"
says Hagrid.
"It's about the you-know-what in Vault 713.
The goblin reads the letter carefully. "Very well," he says. "Someone will take you to both vaults. Grip hook!" Another goblin arrives and leads them through one of the many doors. They follow a dark passage to a railway. They get into a little cart and move quickly down the tracks. They speed through a labyrinth of tunnels. Finally, they arrive at a small door in the passage wall. Griphook unlocks the door with the key, and they enter through a cloud of green smoke.
"It's all yours, Harry,"
says Hagrid. Harry cannot believe his eyes. The room is full of piles of gold coins and silver coins and bronze coins. Hagrid helps Harry fill a bag with some of the coins.
"The gold ones are galleons, the silver ones are sickles, and the bronze ones are nuts. This should be enough for a year at Hogwarts. Right, Griphook, to Vault 713, please."
They move deeper and deeper into the tunnels on the cart.
The air gets colder and colder. Vault 713 has no hole for a key. Griphook walks up to the door and touches it with a long finger. The door vanishes. Harry looks in. The room looks empty. But Hagrid moves past him and enters the room. He picks up a small package that is on the floor. Harry desperately wants to know what it is.
"Let's go," says Hagrid. "Back to the surface. We have things to buy, Harry."
After a wild cart ride, they arrive back on the surface in the bright sunlight. Harry realizes he now has more money than he has ever had in his entire life. He does not know what to do with it.
"Why don't you go and buy your uniform, Harry?"
says Hagrid.
"I have some things to take care of. Madame Malkin's shop has everything you need. Off you go."
And with that, Hagrid pushes Harry towards Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions. Madame Malkin is a small, round, smiling witch dressed in purple robes. "Are you here for Hogwarts, dear?" she asks Harry when he enters the shop. "Come over here and stand, dear. Let's get your robes." Madame Malkin places a long black robe over his head and begins to put little pins in to find the correct length. There are other boys in the shop who are also getting their robes altered. Harry overhears them talking about things he does not understand. Hufflepuff and Slytherin, broomsticks and Quidditch. Harry begins to feel sad again. He really has no understanding at all about what is happening to him. As Madame Malkin places the last pin, Hagrid enters the shop and waits in the waiting area. Harry hears the boys talk badly about Hagrid, calling him a servant and a savage. The boys remind Harry of Dudley. They are cruel and mean. "All set, dear. Your robe for all occasions is ready." Harry thanks Madame Malkin and leaves the shop with Hagrid. Harry is quiet as they walk down the street, and Hagrid asks,
"Harry, what's wrong?"
"Nothing," Harry lies. "Hagrid," he continues, "what's Quidditch?"
"Blimey, Harry, I keep forgetting how little you know about us and our world. Quidditch is our sport. It's a wizard sport. It's like football in the Muggle world. Everyone follows Quidditch. You play it up in the air with broomsticks and 4 balls. It's hard to explain the rules."
"And what are Slytherin and Hufflepuff?" asks Harry.
"They are the houses at Hogwarts School. There are 4 houses. Everyone says the students at Hufflepuff are a lot of dummies, but—"
"I'll probably be in Hufflepuff," says Harry unhappily.
"It's better to be in Hufflepuff than in Slytherin," says Hagrid. "Only the bad witches and wizards come from Slytherin. You know who was one."
Sorry, you know who went to Hogwarts?" asks Harry.
"Many years ago,"
answers Hagrid, and he says no more about the subject. They continue their shopping down Diagon Alley. They buy books of all kinds, and paper and ink. The ink changes color as you write. They buy a cauldron and a set of scales for weighing potions and a beautiful telescope.
They visit the apothecary to buy basic potions, and Harry examines a silver unicorn horn that costs 21 galleons. They stop at an owl emporium to buy an owl for Harry. Toads and cats are out of fashion, explains Hagrid. All the new wizards and witches want owls for their animals. Harry walks out of the store with a large cage and a beautiful snow-white owl.
"Just one more stop, Harry," says Hagrid. "We'll go to Ollivander's for your wand. The best wands for the best wizards."
Harry can't wait. That is what he really wants, a magic wand. As they enter the dark store, Harry notices thousands of narrow boxes in high piles from the floor to the ceiling. For some reason, Harry feels anxious. The hair on his neck is standing up. The store seems to be filled with secret magic. "Good afternoon," says a soft voice. An old man is standing there. His eyes are bright in the dark shop. "Hello," says Harry, embarrassed. "I thought I would see you here someday soon, Harry Potter. You have your mother's eyes. It seems like only yesterday that she came to my shop to buy her first wand. I remember every wand I have ever sold. Your mother's wand was made of willow, but your father preferred a mahogany wand for a little more power. But it is the wand that chooses the wizard, of course." Mr. Ollivander is very close to Harry as he speaks. His nose is almost touching Harry's. He touches the scar on Harry's forehead with a long finger. "I'm sorry to say that it was I who sold the wand that did that," he says softly. "It was made of yew wood, very powerful, and in the wrong hands. If I had known what that wand was going to do—" He looks at Hagrid for a moment. "Rubeus Hagrid, how nice to see you again. Your wand was made of oak, wasn't it? It was a good wand until they broke it when you were expelled." He looks at Hagrid with a severe face. Hagrid looks embarrassed now. "Well now, Mr. Potter, let me see." Harry tries many different wands, but each wand he waves in the air, Mr. Ollivander takes away quickly. He tries wands made of wood and unicorn horns, dragon hearts, and phoenix tails. "You are a difficult customer, Mr. Potter, but do not worry. We will find you a perfect match here somewhere. Yes, here, try this one. It is made of holly and phoenix feathers." Harry takes the wand. He feels a strange, warm sensation in his fingers. He raises it above his head and waves it through the air. Red and gold sparks shoot from the end like fireworks. Hagrid jumps up and down, and Mr. Ollivander claps his hands with happiness. "Oh, bravo!" he yells. "Yes, indeed. Oh, very good." "Well, well, well. How very curious." He puts the wand back in its box and wraps it in brown paper. "Yes, very curious indeed," he continues saying. "All wands are different, Mr. Potter,
But this wand has a brother. Its brother gave you that scar. Very curious how these things happen. I think we can expect great things from you, Mr. Potter. After all, he who must not be named did great things. Terrible things, yes, but great things. Harry feels scared. He is not sure if he likes Mr. Ollivander very much, but he pays the 7 gold galleons for his wand and leaves the shop. They make their way back down Diagon Alley, through the arch in the stone wall, all the way back to the train station. Harry has a ticket back home to the Dursleys. Before the train leaves, he says to Hagrid,
"Everyone thinks I'm special. All those people in the bar, Professor Quirrell, Mr. Ollivander. But I don't know anything about magic. How can I do great things if I don't know anything, or even why I'm famous?"
"Don't worry, Harry," says Hagrid. "You'll learn fast enough. Everyone starts at the beginning at Hogwarts. You'll be just fine. Just be yourself. I know it's hard. You're famous after all. But you'll have a great time at Hogwarts. Here's your train ticket for Hogwarts, by the way." He hands Harry the ticket. "If you have any problems with the Dursleys, you send me a letter with your owl. She'll know where to find me. See you soon, Harry." The train begins to leave the station. Harry wants to watch Hagrid until he can't see him anymore. He stands up and puts his nose against the window, but he blinks for an instant and Hagrid is gone. Chapter 6. Platform 9 3/4. Harry spends the next month with the Dursleys. Dudley is now afraid of Harry, and Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia pretend Harry does not exist. It is a very depressing month for Harry, but he stays in his room with his new owl for company. He names her Hedwig, a name he discovers in his book, A History of Magic. Each lonely day, Harry checks off a box on his calendar. He can't wait until September the 1st, the first day of school at Hogwarts. On his last night with the Dursleys, he convinces Uncle Vernon to take him to the train station the next day. He seems very happy to take him there. It is obvious that the Dursleys do not want him in their house any longer. The next day, when they arrive at the train station, Harry has no idea what to do or where to go. There is no platform 9 3/4. He asks several guards, but they laugh at him and think he is crazy. Harry begins to feel desperate. He tries not to panic when the large clock in the train station says he only has 10 minutes before his train leaves. Has Hagrid forgotten to tell him something about the train? Or the platform? He thinks. Do I have to tap something with an umbrella? At that moment, a group of people pass by Harry, and he hears some of their conversation.
"The station is full of muggles, of course."
Harry looks quickly at the woman who is talking. She is talking to 4 boys. All of them have red hair the color of fire. Each of them has a trunk like Harry's, and there is an owl with them. Harry begins to follow them, pushing his cart with his trunk. When they stop, he stops and listens to what they are saying.
"Now, boys, what's the platform number again?"
asks the mother.
9 3/4.
Answers a small girl who is holding her mother's hand.
Mummy, I want to go too.
You're not old enough yet, Jenny.
All right, Percy, you go first.
A tall boy, probably the oldest of the four, walks towards a barrier between platforms 9 and 10. Harry watches and tries not to close his eyes. He does not want to miss anything. The boy is about to reach the barrier, and suddenly a group of tourists walks in front of him. When they are gone, the boy is gone too.
"Fred, your turn,"
the mother says. "I'm not Fred, I'm George," says the boy. "I can't believe you call yourself our mother. I know we're twins, but you still can't tell us apart."
"Sorry, George, dear."
"I'm just joking, Mother. I am Fred," says the boy as he walks with his twin brother towards the platform barrier. One moment the boys are there, and then suddenly they are not. They have disappeared completely. But Harry cannot see how they do it. He finds some courage and approaches the mother.
"Excuse me,"
Harry says to the woman.
"Hello, dear,"
she says.
"Is this your first time at Hogwarts? Ron is new too."
She points to her last and youngest son. He is tall and thin, with freckles, big hands and big feet, and a long nose.
"You don't know how to find the platform, do you, dear? It's easy enough. Just walk through the barrier between 9 and 10. Don't stop and don't be scared. You can run through if you're nervous. That might help you. Go ahead, go before Ron."
Harry looks at her a bit confused.
"Okay,"
he answers. Pushing his cart with his trunk on it, he walks towards the barrier. People around him bump into him as he walks. The barrier gets closer and closer. He will hit the barrier for sure, he thinks. He begins to run. The cart is out of control now. He closes his eyes. The barrier is right there. Then it is not. He opens his eyes, and there, next to the platform, is a big red train. There is a sign over the platform that reads, "Hogwarts Express, 11 o'clock. Harry looks behind him where the barrier is supposed to be, but there is a sign that says, "Platform 9 3/4. He has found the platform. There are children of all kinds on the platform, with owls flying everywhere in the smoke from the train, and cats of all colors walking between the people's legs. He pushes his heavy cart towards an empty train car. He finds an empty compartment and sits down. As he looks out the window, the door to the compartment slides open. Ron, the boy with fire-red hair, comes in.
"Is anyone sitting there? The whole train is full."
"No,"
answers Harry.
"No one is sitting there."
The red-headed boy sits down and looks at Harry. Then he looks at him more closely.
"Are you? You are, aren't you?"
"Who?" asks Harry.
"Harry Potter,"
he says.
"Oh, him,"
says Harry, feeling embarrassed.
Yes, I'm him. Is that the scar? Wow! So that's where you-know-who did you-know-what? Yes, says Harry, but I can't remember anything. Just a dream, a green light, and nothing else. Are you all wizards in your family? Harry asks Ron quickly. He wants to change the subject. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Ron Weasley. Those other boys you saw are my brothers. Percy's the oldest, and Fred and George are twins, says Ron, feeling embarrassed for being so rude. Yes, my family is full of wizards and witches. I'm the 6th in my family to go to Hogwarts. This is my first year, and everybody loves my brothers. I think everyone has a lot of expectations for me. I'm not sure what's going to happen. All I know is that I don't have anything that's new for me. All I have are my older brother's things. This wand and even Scabbers here. At that moment, Ron reaches into his pocket and takes out an old, fat, gray rat that looks more dead than alive. All he does is sleep. He's almost useless. Well, until Hagrid told me, I didn't know anything about magic or Hogwarts or anything. You're lucky. I'm probably going to be the worst in the class. You won't be, Harry. There are lots of new students, and you'll learn quick, I'm sure. Harry doesn't know if he believes Ron, but he feels a little better. As they are talking, the train begins to leave the station and take them out of London. After some time, Ron says, "Watch this." He takes out the old wand his older brother has given him. I've been practicing a magic trick. I've been trying to turn my rat yellow, but I've been having some difficulty. He waves his wand and is about to say some magic words when the compartment door slides open. There is a girl in the doorway. She is already wearing her new Hogwarts robes. Has anyone seen a frog? One of the other boys has lost his. She has lots of bushy hair and a very bossy voice. We haven't seen one, answers Ron, holding his wand in the air. Are you doing magic? The girl asks. Let's see it then. She comes in and sits down without asking. Ron is shocked. All right, he says. He clears his throat and begins. Sunshine and daisies and buttermellow. Turn this stupid fat rat yellow. He waves his wand over the rat, but nothing happens. The rat is still asleep, it is still fat, and it is still gray. That's not a very good spell, is it? Asks the girl in her bossy voice. I've tried a few spells just to practice, and they have all worked for me, and nobody in my family is magic at all. I'm Hermione Granger, by the way. Who are you? She says all this very fast. I'm Ron Weasley, Ron answers in a low voice. Harry Potter, says Harry. Are you really? Says Hermione. I know all about you, you know. I bought some extra books just to be prepared. And you're in modern magical history and in the rise and fall of the dark arts, and in great wizarding events of the 20th century.
Am I? Asks Harry in amazement.
Of course you are. Do either of you know what house you'll be in? I hope I'm in Gryffindor. It sounds like it is the best house. They say Dumbledore was in Gryffindor when he was studying at Hogwarts. But Ravenclaw sounds good too. Anyway, we need to look for Neville's frog that he lost. And you two should change into your Hogwarts clothes. We'll be there soon.
Hermione stands up quickly and leaves. Ron leans over towards Harry and says,
Whatever house I'm in, I hope she's not in it.
Harry and Ron both laugh loudly.
What house are your brothers in?
Asks Harry.
Gryffindor,
answers Ron.
My whole family was in Gryffindor. I'm afraid what they will think if I don't get in too. What if they put me in Slytherin?
At that moment, the door to the compartment slides open. Harry recognizes the boys. They are the boys he has seen on Diagon Alley, the ones saying mean things about Hagrid in Madame Malkin's robe shop.
Is it true?
The pale boy in the middle says. He appears to be the leader.
They are all saying that Harry Potter is in this compartment. It is you, isn't it?
Yes,
says Harry. Harry is looking at the two other boys who are very big. They look like bodyguards.
Oh, this is Crabbe and this is Goyle, says the pale boy. And my name's Malfoy. Draco Malfoy.
He looks at Ron with a mean look on his face. Then he says to Harry,
You'll soon discover who the best wizard families are, and it is certainly not the Weasleys with their red hair and freckles. You don't want to make friends with the wrong kind of people. I can help you there.
He puts his hand out for Harry to shake it, but Harry does not take Malfoy's hand.
I can tell who the wrong kind of people are myself, thanks,
Harry says with more confidence than he feels.
I'd be careful, Potter, if I were you,
Malfoy says slowly and meanly.
You should be more polite, or the same thing that happened to your parents might happen to you. They didn't know what was good for them. If you hang around the losers like the Weasleys or Hagrid, you may learn some bad habits.
Harry and Ron both stand up.
Say that again,
Ron says. His face is as red as his hair.
Why? Do you think you are going to fight us?
Asks Malfoy with a mean look in his eyes.
We'll fight you unless you get out of here now,
says Harry. He does not feel like he can win a fight against Malfoy and his bodyguards.
We were leaving anyway, says Malfoy, but we're hungry.
Goyle. Goyle reaches for some of the chocolate frogs that are still on the seat, and then screams very loudly. Scabbers the rat has bitten Goyle's finger. Goyle swings his hand around and around in pain. Scabbers flies off and hits the window with a thud. The three boys run away in fear. They think there might be more rats in the compartment.
I hate Malfoy, says Ron angrily. Have you heard about his horrible family? Harry shakes his head no. They used to be on the side of you-know-who until he disappeared. Then they came back to our side. They say they were bewitched. My dad doesn't believe them. He says Malfoy's father doesn't need an excuse to go to the dark side. At that moment, the train begins to slow down. There is a voice on the train's loudspeaker.
Attention! Your attention, please. We will be arriving at Hogwarts in 5 minutes. 5 minutes till we reach Hogwarts. Leave your luggage on the train. It will be taken to the school separately.
The boys quickly put on their wizard robes. Ron's robe is too short for him. His sneakers stick out from under the robe. Finally, the train stops. And all the people exit the train onto the dark platform. It is night. The air is cold, and Harry shivers. Then, in the distance, there is a light that comes towards the students, and Harry hears the familiar voice carrying the light.
First-year students, over here. First year's with me. Hello there, Harry.
Hagrid's big, hairy face appears in the yellow light of the lamp. All the first-year students follow Hagrid down a dark path through the trees. After some time, Hagrid says,
You'll be able to see Hogwarts in just a moment, around this turn in the path.
Then all the students say together, Ooh! The path opens onto the edge of a large, dark lake. In the distance, on the top of a high mountain on the other side of the lake, is Hogwarts. It has many windows full of light, with many turrets and towers.
Everyone, get into one of the boats. No more than 4 in each boat.
There is a fleet of little boats on the shore of the lake. Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville, the boy who has lost the frog, get into a boat together.
Is everyone in?
Asks Hagrid.
Okay, forward!
The fleet of little boats moves off at the same time across the lake. The lake is as smooth as glass. Everyone is very quiet. No one talks. They look up at the massive castle above. They pass through a dark tunnel and soon come to an underground harbor. It seems like it is underneath the castle. They get out of the boats and wait on a rocky beach. Hagrid is helping the children when they need it.
Hey, you there,
says Hagrid to one of the boys.
Is this your frog?
Hagrid has found the frog in one of the boats.
Trevor, where have you been?
Cries Neville happily. He takes the frog from Hagrid and follows the other children as they move up a long passage. The passage leads to a large grass field in the shadow of the castle.
Is everyone here?
Asks Hagrid.
Right, then.
They follow him up a large flight of stairs to a huge front door made of hard oak wood. Hagrid raises a gigantic hand and knocks 3 times on the castle door.
Chapter 7. The Sorting Hat.